How are you?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. He's very excited. Hey, bud.
My mom, she's coming. She's just doing something.
Okay, no rush. I don't mind hanging out with Ginger. So who picked his name?
Then you better not do that if you're not training them. Okay, you want to know?
I know. You know all my doggies. You do. He's like, this guy's weird. He's not petting me. He's not playing with me. What's going on? I think he's broken. Huh? That toy's for later. You're up to earning, buddy. That pocket's empty. He's like, buddy, that squeaks. I know that doesn't squeak, right?
Ginger.
And then free.
Free.
Okay, we're getting there. I know it's a lot. You'll get there. I promise.
So once he gets to me, I say free.
Yeah, as soon as you're engaging with him, whether it's with a food, toy, treat, or just petting and praise, free. Because free means we're done. Good job. You did it.
Ginger.
Good.
Good boy. Free.
And then right before he runs out of leash, say his name and back up.
Ginger.
Perfect.
Good job.
And then free. That's exactly what we're looking for there.
Okay. Ginger.
Good. And you can see, since he's already starting to kind of pick up on that 6-foot bubble,
Yeah.
if he's ahead, he can't see you. So we can start having it happen at 4 feet, at 3 feet, 2, and then eventually it's right here in that zone where we want him to be. But even though he's responding to just his name without the pressure guidance, I do want that light little twinge like you're reeling him in, just so he has that pairing to build that association that much stronger.
Okay.
But that was really good.
Ginger.
Perfect.
Good job. Free.
And this is teaching a dog that pulling means a yield rather than more pulling. And that's where we start to make that change that takes place. So another thing that we can do, if he's not really wandering away too freely.
Ginger.
Perfect. Awesome.
Good job. Free.
We can use that anticipation. We can use that helper. So if he's hanging out in your bubble, you can give him a little bit more slack for this one. Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
Ginger.
Perfect. So
Good
that's how we
job.
can use that helper, because it's not fair to
Good.
him if I'm constantly engaging with him still, if I'm still petting him, fussing him, talking to him. That's too much. And I didn't say his name. I didn't say any word or anything like that. It's just, hey, bud, what are you doing?
Ginger. Good job.
And that's something where sometimes let him meet the distraction and they can pet him if he's being appropriate, but most of the time we can call him back. So it's not, oh, I have to avoid people because they're weird or I never get to say hi, so I'm getting frustrated. It's him learning, oh, there's a time and a place. I'm not always entitled to meet every person I see. I'm not playing with every dog I see. It's most of the time I'm not, but sometimes I am. When? When it's appropriate. Sidewalks aren't places to be making friends with, people or dogs. That's where cars drive by. It's not safe. There's too much going on. You singing the song of your people, bud? Your little husky hoots? Place?
Place.
Good. And again, he's listening to the leash, not our word, but it's building that causality of every time I hear the word, this is what happens. So you can tell him good, and you can even give him some petting for that. I know he groaned a little. He was like, you guys keep taking me off this bed just to put me back on. It's not fair. I thought we were going to do fun stuff. You brought a friend over.
Free.
Good. So this becomes that thing that over time, like I mentioned, the kids and you guys are eating dinner. He's on place in the same room, but out and away, so he can be part of the family without being on top of the family. He's not jumping up on anybody's lap while they're trying to watch TV or bother anybody. He's like, hey, I'm here. I'm working with you guys, so I'm engaged with you guys, but I don't have the need to be up in your space because I can hang out here and be fine.
Good.
And this is something where even if we don't reintroduce and reintegrate him into the crate, for instance, this is still something that we'd have the ability to use when we're home to supervise him.
Wait, I put it.
Right.
That was a big one. That was a big deal. That was pretty good. Doing the right thing. So you can say good and you can give it some petting. Because this is all him working through and troubleshooting and problem solving, saying, what am I supposed to do here? How do I get off? So you can say free and then give him that freedom.
Yay.
So I'll actually wait when he makes a mistake for his paw to touch the ground. It's fine to say no and make the leash tight and fix him as he's going to step off. But for me, it's a lot better to do it the moment, or as close to the moment where he's touching the ground as possible, so he knows, oh, it's me touching the ground that I'm not supposed to do. I have to learn how to be on it longer. So let him, see?
It didn't.
So he didn't do it on his own. And now you can say good and give him some petting. So that's what I meant. And we had that strong condition of, he's going to step off, he's going to step off. Well, if he is, let him. If he's not, then we can reward him for making that good choice.
No. Place.
Good. Now the other sneaky thing that can happen, because they're really good, they're really sneaky, is they could start to learn that I get stuff for getting on the bed. If I'm on the bed and I'm not getting anything, if I step off and step back on very quickly, maybe I'll get something good. So every time we fix them, I like to at least 2 seconds before I give him food or petting.
No.
This way he doesn't learn that there's a shortcut. Because a lot of dogs will be like, well, it's been 3 minutes and Dad hasn't given me anything. I'm going to step off so I get in trouble, and then when he fixes me, I'll get something good. But by waiting that 2 seconds or more before we say good and give him some petting, then he learns staying on the bed is what gets me stuff, not getting on the bed necessarily. He's like, it's very hard though. You don't understand, Mom.
No.
Good.
Place. Good.
Perfect. All right, so we can say free. We'll guide him off.
Free.
And this is that preparation for, taking for a walk down the road, but it's also that foundational communication we're working on.
Ginger.
Good.
Free.
Awesome. And then immediately giving him that loose leash back.
Ginger.
Good. And a good rule of thumb, especially in the beginning with the name game, is if you have to take 2 to 3 steps backwards to help build that momentum to reel him in, that's fine. It's something you see me do a lot, where I'll back up and I'll even crouch down, because both of those kind of spatially invite him into us. They help to draw him in, especially when there's something distracting out there.
Ginger.
Good.
Good. Free.
He's like, I peed. I didn't poop, but I am pooped. This is a lot. And then even outside, just like we did inside, now that he's kind of hanging out with your bubble, he's being a little bit more aware of you. If you want and you have a helper, hey buddy, what are you doing? What's going on there, cutie?
Ginger. Free.
So we can use that too. And I wouldn't use toys necessarily as a distraction. That could be way too much, way too tempting for him at this stage. But what I was doing was I was walking towards toys that are already there. I wouldn't throw toys out as a distraction necessarily. Okay. But I know, for instance, the green and purple ball by the swings, he was pretty keen about. So I used that as a good distraction a few times with him. Awesome.